January of 2018. Um, but it came from, well, Miami initially started it as a program. And our chief of police, Butch Arnell, he came from Punta Gorda as the chief over there. And he started the program in Punta Gorda, and he loved it. He loved what they did. He loved the kids getting recognized. So when he became our chief here, he decided, you know what, this is a program we need to bring to Coconut Creek because our residents are going to love it, our kids are going to love it. So after he was chief for a couple of years, they got the program off and running.
All right. So I know as I go every week or the 1 week out of the month, it kind of makes us choke up and tear up. And I sit with a couple of the other board members that are there, and we all share tissues, and we kind of count and tease each other who's going to cry more. I usually am the one that cries the most. Sorry, Karen. Maybe next week. But can you tell us like what story kind of stands out most? Because I have a couple of my favorites, but is there any stories that actually tore you apart as you were reading it?
Oh my gosh!
Because there is a lot.
Yeah, there are a lot but there's several that stand out for many different reasons for me. Like one of the stories that stands out for me is there's this one student. Her name is Jamie Lalance. She's already graduated by now, but Jamie, when she was a freshman, she was a fire department explorer. They have an explorer program just like we do at the police department. And she was serving as one of their explorers. Her and her dad, Pat Lalance, they were driving down Coconut Creek Parkway, and they came across an accident. And there were several injured people involved, some of them elderly. So Jamie put into practice everything she learned being an explorer, and she helped people on the scene of this accident. You know, she held C-spine, she helped with first aid, until fire rescue got there and took over. So she really helped people be okay. So Jamie, fast forward, she graduates from high school. She applies for our scholarship, and I'll talk about our scholarship program, but she was one of the first winners of our scholarships that we give as part of our program. And she's in fire school now to become a firefighter. So like it all was kind of connected. She won a Do the Right Thing award for something she was doing with the fire department and a passion that she had. And now we're helping her become a firefighter just because she was recognized as a part of our program. So it might not be a sappy story, but to me it's an awesome story. It's part of what our program is all about.
Right. And that's when they get to put that on their resume that they also participated and Do the Right Thing.
Right.
And they get letters, commendations from
Ted
Deutsch.
They get letters of accommodation from Congressman Deutsch. We're sad to be losing him soon. He's he's retiring. But they also get letters of accommodation from our mayor, from the chief of police. So right now it's Mayor Rydell, so it would be from him, from the chief of police, Butch Arnell, also from State Representative Christine Hunts-Chufke, U.S. Senator Marco Rubio, Senator Polsky, like all these people come to the table to help celebrate these kids.
And they send messages in. And they send
recorded messages in if they can't be there in person. They write letters of accommodation. And one of the cool things about the letters, because I didn't have this when I applied to college, but I tell the parents, hang on to these letters, because when your kids, even if you're in first grade, when they're seniors in high school and they're applying for colleges, how cool is it that as part of their college application, they can include these letters of accommodation? I didn't have a letter of accommodation from a senator when I was applying for colleges, so what an awesome thing they can do.
And it's elementary school, middle school, high school. And so if they're getting nominated in first grade, they can apply for a scholarship when they're
graduating. Yes.
In high school. So it follows them through their permanent life.
It follows them until they're graduating.
A permanent
high
record.
School. Yes, it's a permanent record.
Yes.
No pun intended. But it's great. So like the example I was giving before, Jamie won Do the Right Thing award as a freshman. I believe she was a freshman. And 4 years later, when she was graduating, we had the scholarships available. We give 4 $1,000 scholarships. And she was able to submit the application for it because she was an award winner. Our scholarships are only open to previous award winners. So it's an awesome opportunity for them to have some money to go on with their future education. And it, like a lot of scholarships, a lot of programs are geared towards like grade point averages and towards certain things. And, our program is not about that. It's about helping kids and helping people. And that was one of the things that when we had the scholarship committee, when we developed it with Principal Fisk, who used to be on our board, but he's moved away to Colorado, Karen Matroni, and Pastor Ballhoffner from North Creek Presbyterian Church. They're all on the board. And one of the things that we wanted to make sure that we had with this scholarship is that it was going to the people who need it the most. So it could even be somebody who's just going to get a certification as an AC repair person. So it's a great...
The scholarship could be for anything. It doesn't have to be for
anything.
a university. It could be for a trade or...
Yeah.
I do have to read your mission statement because I was fooling around today, and I'm sure that you were eloquently put. Somebody did really good doing this, but so do the right thing. It's funded by the generous donations of our community partners and local businesses. That was not it. Hold on, here it is. Do the right thing is to reinforce exemplary behavior while helping to build safe and self-esteem. Mm-hmm. Like. There should be a class all throughout every year about building self-esteem.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And that also, I think, also goes with doing the right thing, because these kids that are picking up earbuds, $400 earbuds that they find, that are turning them into resource officers, or so tell me,
like one of the examples that we have of kids that have won our award is one of our elementary school kids who goes out of her way to go in before school starts in the morning. She goes into the class that is like considered an autism cluster. Mm-hmm. It's a class specifically for kids who are on the spectrum. And she goes in there and she plays with them. And, she includes them, invites them over for play dates. And she's just really involved with them because she wants them to have a positive school experience and wants them to have friends. And, so that was one of the things that she won the award for. And I know there's that saying that, kids can be cruel. Well, kids can be great, too. And that's one of the examples that kids can just be cool and they could be great and they can be all inclusive.
Is that the gal who plays tag with them
yes.
during the
Yeah,
that one got me choked.
Yeah, on the
too.
playground during recess and stuff. Yeah. So she's making sure that everybody is just included and feels like a part of the school instead of being excluded.
Well, I mean, don't you feel like that when you go to some of these? I mean, we were at something the other day for the community, and you just see somebody in the deer in the headlight look, and they don't feel comfortable, and you just go over and introduce yourself, mm-hmm. or introduce them to somebody else that maybe would make them feel comfortable. And how great that she's learning this at a young age. It took me a really long time to learn that, you know?
Exactly.
What schools are you in?
Well, I'm in Coconut Creek. I work in Coconut Creek, and this is Do the Right Thing of Coconut Creek. But one of the great things about our program is you don't necessarily have to live in our city to be recognized for it. There are certain criteria. You either have to attend a faith-based institution in our city, you have to attend a school in our city, or faith-based institution, attend a school in our city, or just reside in our city. Like, for example, last year, one of our winners, and he was also an award winner of one of our scholarships, Sam Vogel. He lives in our city, but he goes to Pompano Beach High School. He was actually nominated for the award by Nora Rupert, who is on the school board, because he was very involved in accessibility challenges in schools throughout the county. He is in a wheelchair, not permanently. He is somewhat mobile, but mostly in a wheelchair. So his focus was making sure that other kids that have challenges such as himself had the ability to get around the school easily. So because of the fight he was going through, or I wouldn't say fight. That's not
struggle.
He was making that challenge his to make it better for other kids with the same challenges. So she nominated him for the award, and he was recognized. So If you're a member of a faith-based institution, you attend a school in our city, or you live in the city, you could be nominated. And anybody can nominate the kids for awards.
I was going to ask, who can nominate?
Anybody. You can. Anybody. A teacher, a coach, a parent. Because there are some kids that are homeschooled. Like, for example, there's one girl.
Have you had a homeschool?
Yes. There's
recommendation?
Yes.
Nominee. Okay.
Yes.
All right.
There was a girl who was in the high school age being homeschooled, and her and her family would go overseas to help, what's that organization that they go overseas and they help build water wells and things like that?
They all do.
So she participated in that over the summer, and so that was one of the things that she was recognized for. So yes, so it can be anybody who nominates. It could be a police officer, your SRO, anyone who, and it could be an employer.
Well, that's exciting.
That a kid works for them in one of their stores.
Here you are doing the right thing, and all of a sudden you're getting this. Do they get a award letter? How do they get recognized that way?
Well, at the ceremonies they get a certificate.
But somebody's got to let them know about it first, right? Like you have to come to the ceremony. Somebody has to invite them. How do?
Well, we get nominations. Okay, so on our website. So
all right. Start me from the beginning.
Okay, from the beginning. So in order to get nominated, you can go to our website. Mm-hmm. You could either Google Do the Right Thing of Coconut Creek, our website comes up, or you could type in DTRT, coconutcreek.com, and our website comes up. On there, there's a nomination form. So anybody can fill that out, and when they submit the form, it comes to our email address for Do the Right Thing. So each nomination that I gets printed out, and it gets submitted to a selection committee. I have a selection committee that reviews all of our nominations for the month, and they pick 5 winners who are going to be recognized. Then from there, I call the parents, and I let the parents know your child was nominated and is being recognized, and I invite them to the ceremonies. And we also invite teachers. We recognize one teacher a month, which you know.
Yes.
Because the Seminole Coconut Creek Casino is one of our sponsors, and so is Harvest Church. And they are the 2 sponsors that we have that help us provide awards to our teachers who are recognized for doing the right thing. Because we have some teachers that do some amazing things as well. Like on the side, a kid's struggling, and so they'll stay after school for an hour to help tutor them, and, or just encouragement. Some of the things that we hear our teachers doing is just above and beyond.
I see a lot of principals that come and sit in the audience and watch their kids. I see a lot of proud family members. That's usually what chokes me up most.
Yeah.
When all the family comes up and you present usually the mother with flowers or the stepmother. I mean, there's usually a couple of parents
or
at
the grandmother,
time.
whoever's there to help
and
cheer
there's
on the kids.
Huge family photo op, which they probably don't always get everybody together at the same time. And here they are celebrating. So it's really a cool thing that
it's
you
super
guys
fun.
do.
I love it. It's one of the favorite things I do every month. Yeah.
Karen Matroni and I always say it's our favorite 30 minutes out of the month.
Yep.
And we do. We look forward to it, and we go a couple minutes early and yenta it up in the back. And
well, our chief, who is the president of Do the Right Thing of Coconut Creek, he sends out invitations every month, and that's his tagline: the best 30 minutes of your month.
See, I thought she made that up. Maybe she stole that from Butch. All right. Well, Chief, I'll give credit where credit is due. It's probably home feeding the critter.
Maybe.
How big is that critter?
Charlotte?
Do you know? Yeah.
I don't know how big she is, but she's cute as can be.
Yeah. Chief has a little pig.
Not a little one.
Not so little.
Not so little.
And now he knows we're talking about him. His ears are ringing. All of a sudden, all of his family members are going to be tagging him on Facebook. Hey, well, they were talking about Charlotte.
Yeah. She's pretty awesome.
All right, so I'm real excited. You decided, this, of course, was a nonprofit 501c3. You guys decided to start this off as, so it wasn't even part of the Explorer program.
Never. No, they're unrelated.
So they came way before.
Yeah, the Explorers, the police department Explorers have been in an institution for more than 20 years. So, yes.
We were talking about that today
on
on the program. Do you know anything about that? A little bit about the Explorer program?
Of course.
You
What
do?
would you like to know about the
I don't know.
Explorers? It's a great program.
I know that we have reached out and we've talked and we have actually collaborated, but I don't know the background and how they got involved in Coconut Creek. But I know a lot of good kids turn out, and I know you hire a lot of police officers out of that program too.
Yes, we have several officers that work for us now that grew up through the Explorer program, and it's great. It teaches kids, number one, a little bit of discipline, tells them what life as a police officer is going to be like, because these kids even get to do ride-alongs with our officers. That's part of the program. And they learn everything from defensive tactics. They learn active killer training. They even help us with our active killer training. The kids come and they act as victims or hostages and stuff, and so they help us.
I would do that. If you need a body, let me know. I'll be the little old lady with the cane. And
I got your number.
All right, yeah.
Okay, we'll use you.
I signed up randomly for a class that you're throwing in a couple weeks.
Yes,
and
our SAFE class.
The message I got was, of course you want to sign up for it. But can you talk a little bit about that class coming up? And is it just for Coconut Creek residents, or can anybody sign up?
If somebody who lives near Coconut Creek wants to come, we're not going to turn people away just because they don't necessarily live in our city. It's a free service we provide to mostly our residents, but it's to make people aware of their surroundings. It's not like you're not going to walk out of there being a Taekwondo master.
Walking on your phone, looking out to the car,
yes.
to be a surrounding of
yes. It's giving tips to make sure you're aware of your surroundings, you know what to look for. And there's a little self-defense moves in there that if somebody does get a hold of you, hopefully you'll be able to break away from it. But yeah, it's really learning about being aware of your surroundings.
And how long is that class?
It's 2.5 hours.
All right. And you're certified to be able to kick some booty or at least get to your car with protection and dial 911?
Yes. Yes. It's fun. You're going to enjoy the clase.
See,
it's a fun
I always
class.
say I'm from Philly. Like, I don't know what would happen if a bad guy messed with me. Like, thank goodness, knock on wood. Like,
you should wear a hat that says "from Philly."
Yeah,
And,
Philly girl.
They'll just keep walking.
That's funny. Thank you for tuning in to Connections with Tracy. I just wanted to thank all of you that are actually listening, and I'm just plugging the radio station in 95.3 and 96.9, and if you're watching us, Facebook streaming. I just gave my producers a heart attack, which was kind of funny, but I really should thank our producers because Don and Freddie have absolutely been gems, and Linda for making all of this happen and doing all the beautiful artwork behind and meeting with us. And
I have a question for Barb.
Yes.
For the kids that are nominated for Do the Right Thing, what are you finding their reactions are?
Some of them are extremely surprised because sometimes the parents don't tell them ahead of time that that's what they're going to do. So they show up and they see that, oh my God, I get to stand on this big stage. I get to sit behind the dais where all of our commissioners sit. So a lot of them are surprised and extremely happy. You know, some kids have never been recognized for anything in their lives. And, you know, this is something that is maybe a little bit of encouragement to them. So, I mean, I've seen the reactions across the spectrum, but kids are just so happy to be getting recognized. I had one last year that was just heartbreaking with her reaction. She's like, oh my God, nobody's ever told me I've done anything right. It was like, I just wanted to hug her and take her home, but...
there are a lot of hugs going on.
Yeah,
I do notice that there are a lot of pictures afterwards and a lot of hugging, and but self-esteem, that's what it's about. You're giving them a little extra
Yeah.
So you can just nominate. It's not through the school program, and anyone who is either faith-based there, goes to school, or resides in City of Coconut Creek can be nominated.
Yeah, and anybody can submit a nomination. Anybody.
And it's through the Police Department of Coconut Creek, through the Community Affairs?
Through the nominations? No, it's separate.
Okay.
Yeah, this is the Do the Right Thing of Coconut Creek is a 501c3. It's separate from the police department, although we're heavily involved because the chief of police is also our president. And, you know, I'm the executive director, but I'm also the community services sergeant. So the police department is heavily involved. The city is heavily involved because the city is our biggest sponsor, the city of Coconut Creek. So thank you to the mayor and the commissioners and our city manager
and
for
city deputy. city. But
Yes.
and what they do is they actually shut the city down. So everyone is done at 5:00, and the whole entire audience fills up. And it's at 30 minutes. It's 30 minutes.
Yep. Everybody takes time out of their day to come and be present. And also, I got to say thank you to all the sponsors, too, because without the sponsors, we couldn't have this program. We wouldn't be able to give out the scholarships. So, we do fundraising. We just did an auction a couple weeks ago that the mayor put together. Mayor Rydell helped put together, and,
We
rallied
did
a
that
bunch
at
of people.
Truly a promenade, and
yeah.
we had 100 people.
Well, at
right?
Bar Louie. It was a Bar
Bar
Louie.
Louie. Sorry. Well,
Yeah, and
Truly's
we-
tomorrow night.
And we, a lot of our sponsors, like Seminole Coconut Creek Casino, stepped up and they donated a few baskets. Cooper's Hawk donated a ton of stuff for us. And
Darren Schlegel, GM over at
Yeah,
Cooper's Hawk.
yeah,
Shout
he
out.
was
Thank you for
amazing.
all of your donations
Yep.
because he really, there was a lot of good wine there.
Yeah, there was a lot of good wine there. But without our sponsors, we wouldn't be able to do it. So I did want to say thanks to them. So,
Go ahead. And it's Spiro's going to be here next month.
Oh,
so,
yeah.
So Bin Doctor.
Spiro from the Bin Doctor. He's one of our sponsors. The Promenade of Coconut Creek, Karen Matroni, Coconut Creek Auto Mall, Schechter and Associates, who does our taxes for us. Chase Bank, U-Haul, Silver Spot Movie Theater, which is also on the Promenade. Again, Cooper's Hawk, the Police Benevolent Association of Broward County is one of our new sponsors. They're going to be bringing their big van to our ceremonies every month.
They're new, yeah.
Yep. And again, Harvest Church. And Growth and Company is also one of our newest sponsors. They helped us with that auction tremendously. I don't think I would have been able to get through it without their help. Winmore. Coconut Creek Multicultural Circle, and Mentoring Tomorrow's Leaders, which is a group out of Coconut Creek High School. It's one of their clubs there, so they're sponsoring us also. So it's kind of an exchange. We're helping them, and they're helping the program.
And you need volunteers. How do people help? How do people donate? How do people get involved or show up?
If they want to be a sponsor, if anybody wants to be a sponsor, we have different level sponsors. Our sponsorship levels starts at $500 and goes on up from there. And also, if the people don't want to be a sponsor and they just want to donate a couple bucks here and there, on our website, Do the Right Thing of Coconut Creek, there is a donate button that if they click on that, they can just donate $5 if they wanted to.
And there's one award winner per month?
We recognize 5 kids every month and 1 teacher.
Wow.
Yeah.
All ages of kids?
From kindergarten through 12th grade.
That's amazing. Well, maybe we can, Tracy, give them once a month, give some recognition on Connections with Tracy or the Brooklyn Cafe show.
Give a shout out to the kids.
Of course.
That would be
Shout out to the
awesome. They would love
kids,
that,
or-
hearing their name on the radio.
I would love that.
I think
Yeah,
that would. And
Shoot me an email and we'll make that happen.
Okay.
definitely, and let's put something together for Do the Right Thing. And we can put that on our bank of commercials also. I don't know if you have a commercial, but we'd love to share that out.
Okay.
And
Thank
that's why we stay connected with Connections with Tracy.
It's all about the kids, right, in our community.
Yes.
Making a positive impact.
Yeah, and they're our future. So we got to take care of them.
That's incredible. So if
'Cause
they
they're going to
wanna-
be taking care of us.
If you
right?
want to nominate someone, Sergeant Barber, how do we do that for this? Because it's not going through the police department. How do we get in touch with you?
Through the website.
Which is?
Through Do the Right Thing of Coconut Creek. You can Google Do the Right Thing of Coconut Creek or type in dtrtcoconutcreek.com. And there's a tab on there that you press that is for nominations. And the form is super easy to fill out.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Well, it's been a great night, and thank you for tuning in to Connections with Tracy. And we will see you next Tuesday on 95.3, 96.9 FM. And that's all the time we have for tonight. I want to thank you for tuning in. And remember, stay connected and tune in to Connections with Tracy.